Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, cottagers. Welcome in, welcome in. Happy Thursday. Hope everything's going well by all of you. And Kia, thank you so much for the resub. 28 months. What the heck? That's so long, girl. And Kalia, welcome in. Thank you for the head pats. Thank you, thank you. Welcome. We're back. We're, normal farming today. Let's love the tulip scene transition. I love it too. I can send it to you if you want, Kias. I got it on Booth, I want to say. But yeah, it's a good one. It comes in a couple different colors too. It's a handy one for the growing season months. But yeah, welcome in. Hope you're all doing well. I'm kind of sleepy. I don't know. I've been waiting for veggies to show up at my house like all day. Raz playing story seasons instead of Monster Hunter. War is over. Starts playing. Welcome in, 89. Yeah, we're gonna do Monster Hunter. I think is gonna be a Sundays thing, and then maybe like occasional Tuesday reset days, depending on how I'm feeling. But I did promise we should finish Friends of Mineral Town. I don't think we're gonna go the full 5 years. I'm realizing I'm burning out. I'm getting cooked. I'm in the oven. So that means I think what we're gonna do is we married Ellie. I think we should have a kid and see some of our kid cutscenes, and then maybe we'll vibe. I think you are not used to seeing me with this account. I don't think so. Who are you if not that account? You'll have to tell me. Anyway, but welcome in. Either way. Let me see. I haven't booted up the game in a while, so I might have to check my sound and stuff. I'm gonna get googly eyes for 1 sec as I check. That's my, how I check my own volume. Is with my Windows key. And that's what my googly eyes are attached to. Let me go ahead and boot up the game, and then I'm gonna check the mixing. Just in case it's wonky, which is always possible. Oh, Ale Conde, welcome in, Fixed. Welcome, welcome. Welcome. I guess that's your name backwards. Oh, you got a palindrome set of names. Welcome, welcome. Alright, let's see. Let's see. My controller is plugged in. I'm gonna see if this plays nice, question mark, with my thing. It really hates when I alt-tab back and forth, so it might be grumpy, but I have to check the audio first, so it's gonna have to chill. I think the volume is okay. I also think I was on the left side for these streams. I don't really know why, but I think that's what I was up to. So let's see if this, it looks like it's okay. Also, did I enable the sound? I did, okay. I was like, did I leave it muted? Oh. Alright, that one broke it. That one broke it. Me alt-tabbing out to double check that the sound was on. Killed it. Unsuccessful. Alright, that's restart attempt 1. I don't know why it started doing this. Maybe I just got lucky. Maybe I like dodged a bullet early. But it's been super annoying. This is like one of the reasons why I'm like, man, I hate controllers. I hate controllers. That's why I don't play games with controllers. It never does this to me on mouse and keyboard. I've never been burdened like this. Clap Riz all the time. Welcome in, Mary. Hope you're doing well. Happy Thursday. Alright. We are in winter of year 2. I have no memory of what we were up to. It's Gray's birthday today. Alright. You know what? I think I'm just gonna give everyone chocolate. I don't think anyone hates chocolate, and we're pretty much friends with everyone at this point. And then, let's see. What else we got? Dudley's birthday. Ellen's birthday. Very important. Then we have Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day... We gotta give chocolate to... Well, actually, I don't know what happens now that we're married, actually. I don't know if people will solicit chocolate from us. Good afternoon, evening, all. Welcome in, B. Hope you're doing well. Happy Thursday. Hope things are good by you. I think, I actually learned recently about the concept of, giddy choco. Have you ever heard of giddy choco? Happy Thursday, Raz. Welcome in, Captain. Happy Thursday. Welcome, welcome. So, you know, in Japan, there's Valentine's Day and there's White Day. And Valentine's Day is where women traditionally give chocolate to... Technically, it's supposed to just be, like, you know, your love interests. But I guess it's kind of evolved into... There's, like, nice... Basically, the quality of chocolate that you give someone... Like, nice chocolates are for, like, people that you actually care about, and then there's, like, this lower tier level of chocolate that's called giri choco, which is, like, obligation chocolate, I guess. So it's, like, you give chocolates to people, like, you'll give it to, like, your boss at work to be, like, thanks for, you know, not being terrible to me, or whatever, or, like, your senpai, or whatever. And they're not people that you have any romantic interest in, but you feel obligated to, like, show some token of appreciation, which, of course, was probably a capitalist scheme by the chocolate companies, because they wanted to sell more chocolate. But it kind of evolved into this, like, you give people these, you know, women give these chocolates on Valentine's Day, and then on White Day, men are supposed to reciprocate and give back, like, cookies, I think, traditionally, or chocolates back on that day. Again, it's supposed to be a romantic kind of, you know, the reciprocity is kind of nice, I guess, but yeah, I guess it's turned into this whole thing where a bunch of women felt like it was a huge pain every year that they had to buy these giri choco for, like, a huge number of people. And then... Doesn't it have to be something as expensive as the chocolate they got? Yes, Ale. So, yes, the White Day reciprocity bit, which gets, like, rough, is if someone gives you, like, a really nice chocolate on Valentine's Day, you're supposed to give, like, an equal value item on White Day to, like, keep your, you know, to keep it at, like, a sum zero game. But, like, a bunch of women were like, this is so stupid. Like, I don't want to give chocolates to my boss. Like, I don't even like him. I don't want to give chocolates to my coworkers. It ended up just being like you give chocolates to everybody, because then you worry about people feeling left out or whatever. And then I guess some of the expensive chocolate brands, like the Godivas and stuff, started running these anti-giri choco ads in Japan, because the high-end chocolate producers do not benefit from giri choco sales, because they're only selling the high-end chocolates that people actually give to the people that they like, which you would assume they would just continue to do anyway. So I guess there were these chocolate wars, chocolate advertising wars going on in Japan, because the high-end chocolate retailers were like, yeah, giri choco is stupid, and then of course, like, the companies that make the giri choco are like no, we don't want to leave anyone out. So I had no idea that giri choco was even a thing. I was living in Japan during Valentine's Day. I did not give anyone chocolate. Maybe that was a miss. Maybe I was working in Japan at the time, so maybe I was supposed to bring in stuff and I just didn't, but that was me kind of gaijin smashing, I guess. Down with everything. But yeah, imagine. I mean, Valentine's Day is already very capitalist in the West, so I don't think we're immune to this for sure. But it is interesting that there's like this whole other level of it in Japan. What is your Japanese level? I mean, it used to be conversational, though I was pretty illiterate. Like my kanji level was always pretty low. But yeah, it used to be like conversational. It has degraded immensely. Because it's been over 10 years since I lived there. And yeah, I just didn't keep up my Japanese. I could definitely, like, if I went back and studied, I think it would probably come back. You were able to live and work there without reading? Yeah. I just asked people what things said. I would just point at stuff and be like, sorry, my kanji reading skill is bad. What does this say? Or I would go to people at the train station and be like, does this train go to this stop? And then people would be like, yes or no, or they would tell me what train I needed to get on. So I got by. I would suggest having more kanji knowledge. I was in a weird, my Japanese program in my university was very skewed towards speaking and listening comprehension, which I don't think is a bad thing, because I think it's most important that you're actually able to speak to people and have them understand you, especially, just for like emergency situations and stuff. But I do wish that I had learned a little bit more kanji. That's also kind of on me though. Like when I was in Tokyo and I was in a Japanese class, I purposefully put myself in a lower Japanese class than I could have tested into. One, because I wanted an easy grade. And two, I said it was for kanji, but I could have just like self-studied and learned more kanji and been in the higher tier class that learned a lot more kanji per week. But I was kind of lazy as a student at that time, I guess. I was more concerned with having an easy schedule. That's pretty poggers. Welcome in, Weird. Yeah, it was a fun time. I had a nice time. I guess the other thing too, when I was working so I worked in Kyoto. When I was working in Kyoto, I spoke to my coworkers in Japanese, but the work I was doing for the company I was working for was actually in French. So I spoke to my coworkers, they would like assign me work and we would talk about things in Japanese, but like when I was actually sitting and doing work, I was not reading Japanese, I was reading French magazines and stuff. I was doing research in French for them. So, and like a little bit of English translation work as well. So like, there are definitely jobs where you would need a lot more kanji than what I had, but it worked out for me. Imagine only having English as an option through all education. Well, at least there's such programs. Yeah, I feel very lucky that I grew up in having English as my first language, considering it is such a strong diplomatic language. But I took French in high school. Like, actually, I took French through middle school and high school, and then a little bit into college. Like, my freshman year of college, I took like 300 level French classes. And then I just didn't have time to keep taking French, so I ended up dropping it. And I took Japanese for 3 years in college, and then again, my senior year, I was not a Japanese language major, so I didn't have time to take more Japanese classes, though it probably would have been better for me if I had taken a Japanese language class. I only know, at this point, I would say the only language that I can really comfortably speak is English. I can get around with French and Japanese. French is definitely way worse. I can read French better than I can speak it, or like my listening comprehension is not great these days for French. There's also certain French accents and French dialects that I really struggle with, but yeah, I would say I consume less French media, though I can read much better in French than I have ever been able to in Japanese. But that's helped by English having that Romance language vocabulary, so you can kind of just fudge it a little bit. Slightly terrified of English right now because I've not spoken it for years. I mean, number one, you're very fluent when typing it, so that helps a lot. Pronunciation of English is weird and hard, but I guess it depends on where you go or like who you're speaking with. Americans in particular are very used to Like, people in North America, I think Canadians are the same way too. We're very used to people having lots of different accents when they're speaking English, so we don't tend to mind if you have a strong accent, because we live in places with a lot of people who English is not their first language. Cannot speak for the UK or Australia because I've never been there. But any place that has a decent number of expats or a lot of immigrants, we don't mind thick accents when understanding English, I would say. Being able to listen and comprehend is so huge. It is, yeah. Being able to listen, like, if you're able to listen to my streams and, like, engage me in conversation, your English is great. I'm like a mumbly person. I kind of have a wild vocabulary sometimes. So you're doing great. There's no softball English. I'm not speaking easy English necessarily over here. So if you're following along in stream, you're killing it. You're doing great. But yeah, like, the big thing is to be able to listen and understand what you hear and, like, respond. If you can do that in any language, incredible. Actually incredible. But yeah, I think I've also developed, my Japanese used to be a lot more, like, I had less of an accent when I spoke Japanese, but I think I've developed kind of a weird accent from being, like, rusty and not speaking it. So that's been something. Did we finish Mechabot? No, okay, we didn't. Okay. I was like, what is this TV show? And then I saw it was like episode 29. To remind you, I have no idea what's happening in some of these shows. I only remember what's happening in Dear Princess, which is my favorite show. So I guess we're gonna find out together what's going on in Mechabot Ultra. Mechabot Ultra, the autumn breeze. When watching, make sure to turn the lights on and sit a good distance from the TV. Episode 29, The Advent. Come, Mechabot. Ta ta ta, bada ta 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 bata. Cue the Mechabot Ultra gleam. Red, blue, yellow, and green robots come zooming in from beyond the horizon to land in front of our heroes. Thoom. Each of our heroes quickly clambers into their respective Mechabot. Let's go, guys! Combine! Yeah! To be continued. Next episode preview. The invincible Mechabot Ultra is formed, so the battle with the Earthen Doll begins. Will our heroes defeat it? Find out in the next episode of Mechabot Ultra, The Autumn Breeze, episode 30. Mechabot Combine. Look forward to it. When you stop using it, your brain knows how something should sound, but your mouth can't copy it. Yes, exactly, Ale. Exactly. That's the problem I'm having. I know how it should sound in Japanese, but my mouth is like, no. Raz, welcome in, Tofu. How are you doing? Happy Thursday. I hope you've been doing well. Oh, I forgot we got the giant fridge. We have a fancy fridge now. We got a fancy fridge. Alright, I guess let's go take care of our animals. Also, I don't think I actually absorbed what the weather was. Tomorrow's weather is light snow. Okay, I wanted to make sure it was not a blizzard. Because that would be kind of a bummer. Alright, we got all of our coop friends. Everyone's vibing. Well, we did not win the Fluffy Festival. So I think I'm fine to shear our child, because there's nothing stopping me at this point. And let's see, we have 3 rabbits. 1, 2, 3... 4, 5. Okay, so we have 8 animals altogether, so we're full up on coop friends. I don't know why we max out at 8 animals in the coop, but the feed comes in stacks of 9. I don't like that. I don't like that. I know that everything stacks up to 9, but I feel like this thing, when it's distributing it to us, should just give us 8. Like, it knows that we can't have 9 animals. This is the max. And you can't have more than 1 coop. Like, this is it. So, yeah, I don't know about that. I'm good. How are you? I'm doing pretty well. I'm tired. I'm trying to think what else is up with me. Oh, I had foot surgery yesterday. Minor foot surgery. But I went back to work afterwards and that was a mistake. I was like, I'll be fine. And then I was like, this was a bad idea. And even the doctor was like, I don't think that's a good idea. And I was like, I'm just sitting at a desk all day. But no, it was in fact a bad idea. So don't do that. Do rabbits exist in East Asia? Like endemically? Like naturally? I don't think I've ever seen a rabbit in Japan. Wild at least. But I feel like they are in most places. Like some form of rabbit. I was in a lot of cities, so I saw a lot more like squirrel kind of things. Less, but to be fair, like living in cities, I rarely see rabbits anyway, even in the US where I know that there are many of them, so I would not be surprised to find that there are rabbits over there. Alright, we're gonna talk to everybody. Everybody's looking good. Story of Seasons isn't the only Eastern game that does rabbits with that shape. I feel like it's hard to say because Story of Seasons, I feel like a lot of games have copied Story of Seasons, so it's hard to be like, are they doing this because this is a common... Like, I don't know how, like, I don't know if, I know we had double cows over here. I don't know if rabbits are commonly farmed in East Asia. That I don't know. To be fair, I don't know that rabbits are commonly farmed in the US either. I would think Europe actually does rabbit farming more than we do. And maybe South America too. 'Cause, like, we don't tend to eat rabbit very much. I feel like I never see rabbit in, like, the supermarket to be able to buy. And I don't think there's that many people producing Angora wool. Alright, it's sunny today, so I can let all my animals outside. Forgot about that. I don't remember if I have to feed my animals in winter. I guess I will. I have a lot of fodder, but I don't actually remember if it's required. There's just no grass, so I kind of feel like if I don't feed them, what are they gonna eat? I've heard of a couple rabbit farmers in the US, actually enough. Interesting. I mean, I know that they probably exist. Also, how many cows do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we only have 4 that need feed here. 'Cause one is getting her own stall. So, Story of Seasons Friends in Monotone Town actually has my favorite winter theme. Not this one though, sorry. It's okay. It's okay. They've got some good stuff in Friends of Mineral Town. I don't hate this one though, I will say. Don't hate this one. There are a couple cities in Canada I know have major wild rabbit problems. Really? Like they're just everywhere? I guess they just probably don't have a lot of natural predators. I guess like coyotes and foxes and stuff don't really live in cities. Not their jam. Okay. Where is Calf? Hello. Hello, Calf. Let's go to the mine, the winter mine. Calgary has them everywhere. Common as crows certain times of year. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of rabbits. Oh, Well, if it isn't Raz, how lovely of you to come see me again. I always appreciate an offering. Oh my, I'm rather fond of this. How wonderful. Thank you, and bye-bye. Bye-bye. That's shocking. I guess the issue with that many rabbits, like, I guess rabbits are not really eating trash, I assume, so I guess you kind of run the risk of them, starving. I don't imagine there's, like, nearly enough grass for them to eat if there's that many of them. They multiply fast. They do multiply fast. That's why they're kind of a good agricultural crop. Rabbits have lots of children very quickly. They're agricultural pests. Yeah, they are. They're so cute, though. They're so cute, though. And like I said, they are good. They're really cute, but they're also a good meat source. Because, again, they multiply quickly. That said, I think I'd rather leave rabbits to the foxes and the coyotes, personally. They can figure themselves out. We have some rabbits around here, but we have a lot of predators, so I actually don't see rabbits as often. It doesn't taste bad. No, I'm sure rabbit tastes great. I think I've probably had rabbit once or twice, but they're very cute to me. It's like octopi. I don't eat octopus either, even though everyone says that octopus is very tasty, because I just think they're too cute. But yeah, we don't have a whole lot of rabbits, because it's kind of not safe. We have owls, we have hawks, we've got bobcats. I saw a baby bobcat the other day. It's so cute. We have a little, it's not like a baby, it's not like a really tiny kitten, but it's fairly young and it's been hanging out by our workshop, and I saw it when I was going into work the other day. I came out and it was like hopping around the workshop, and then it saw me and was like, oh my god, and it ran away. Adorable. So we have lots of predators that the rabbits are like, feel like this is not a safe spot to hang out. I tried octopus, but I didn't like it at all, the texture especially. Yeah, I think it's like chewier calamari is the way I've heard it. Like chewier squid, almost, is the way I've heard it described. So if you don't like that kind of like bounce back texture, it's probably not the vibe. In my summer town, a big batch of wild rabbits got some terrible disease. They were unable to react properly. Oh, that's sad. That's upsetting. Like eating an eraser. B, have you eaten an eraser? How would you know that? Were you gnawing on erasers as a kid? Where does this forbidden knowledge come from? I would have my dog a meter away from the rabbit barking at it, and it would just not react. Ooh, yeah. Not good, and probably not good to let your dog get near in case it's communicable. Yeah, I chewed on them as a kid. Okay, so you know then. So it's like confirmed. Very similar to an eraser. We've got ourselves an expert. Who didn't? I don't think I didn't really chew on erasers. I don't know why. I had other things that I did, but chewing on stuff wasn't really my vibe. Unless it was like my own hands. I didn't chew on my nails, but like I would pick at like hangnails, and if I couldn't get those off, I would bite them off, which is like not a good thing. Not a good way to do that. Not it. Didn't you also try to see if the different colors had different taste? Oh my goodness, did they? Were there different chemicals affecting the flavor? I always chewed my nails, fingers to bits, never pens or pencils. Yeah. Actually, I was more likely, I think it's Gray's birthday today, right? Oh, whoa, you just about scared me out of my boots there. What's up? Is this a birthday present? Wow, thanks. That's nice of you. Enjoy. But yeah, I would pick it like I still do. It's like an anxiety habit. I like won't notice that I'm doing it until I'm bleeding, so I try and keep my nails actually a little longer, and if I keep them like painted or nice, I tend to not pick at the skin around my nails, but I used to do that really bad as a kid. My friend convinced us to eat grass, only the white part near the roots, or crayon. You just shave tiny, tiny bits at a time. Crayon wax. Delicious. The black, dark blue, and brown crayons would taste weird. Weird. Whatever dye they used was probably not super tasty. Well, look at us. Look at all this forbidden knowledge we have. As a kid, I didn't eat grass, but I would eat wood sorrel, which is kind of like a they look like clovers, I guess, but they have like a white ring in the clovers. And they taste like lemon, actually. So they're very like sour. So yeah, I don't know. I guess if I was bored, just eat some wood sorrel. Also, welcome in, Weekend Whaler. You catch us at a strange time. We're discussing odd things we ate as kids or chewed on, including crayons, erasers. I ate wood sorrel. I don't know if you guys, I don't know if this was a thing that everyone in the US read this book. They had us read this book in middle school that was called My Side of the Mountain, I think. That's either the book or it's one of the books in the series. It was like a trilogy. And it's basically about this kid that like runs away from home. I don't remember why he leaves his home. Like I don't remember why, but he like basically goes and like lives in the wilderness and he befriends a peregrine falcon and I think it's supposed to be vaguely realistic, like the stuff that he eats and stuff is it's supposed to be kind of real. I just remember like they described these acorn pancakes in those books. And after reading that book, I was like, I want to go live in the woods and eat acorn pancakes too. And my parents, like, I think I was telling them that I really wanted to try acorn pancakes, and they were like, you have to, like, look this up, though, first. And it was a good thing I did, because it turns out if I just ground up acorns and tried to, like, make pancakes out of the flour, acorns have, like, a lot of tannins in them, and they will make you sick. You have to actually, like, soak them before you process them, which I don't remember being in the book. So, the more you know. I have a private pet peeve where people call wood sorrel clover, but I can't be mad since I think normal people won't know the difference. Yes, it's to be fair to them, they look similar, except for the white ring. My parents did have to remove a bonsai when I was born because they were certain it would kill me. I feel like bonsai probably do look very edible to small children. They're kind of the perfect size, right? It's like a miniature tree. Like, you can't really gnaw on a tree branch, but you definitely could gnaw on a bonsai. And lots of bonsais are made of, are very toxic trees. They're very not it. I had diagrams of food you could forage. That's so blessed. I, like, foraged as a kid, but, like, only the easy stuff, I'm talking, like, blackberries, raspberries, wild strawberries, wood sorrel. Like, I never went for mushrooms. I always, like, the fear of God was in me that I was going to poison myself foraging for mushrooms. I still feel that way. I would like to, like, forage for mushrooms, but I feel like I just know me, and I know that I would be, like, too impatient to do spore prints or something, and then I would die, so... That would be an L. That would be an L. That would not be it. One with poisonous seeds, but it was apparently cute looking. Oh, yeah. Every bonsai is cute. Many of them are not good for humans or pets. I grew up on wild blackberries. and rhubarb and crab apples and pears. Yes, we had crab apples when I was a kid. I didn't actually have rhubarb when I was growing up. I think it wasn't until I moved out to my current house. My current house came with a big rhubarb patch that I inherited along with our fruit trees. So I think that's the first time I ever ate rhubarb. I might have had like strawberry rhubarb pie from like the grocery store or something, but I don't know. I guess no one around me really had rhubarb that they were growing. It grows like a weed though. It can get giant. Also, Calio, thank you for the head pats. Rhubarb is another plant you have to process carefully, right? You can't eat the leaves, let's put it that way. So you don't want to go too far up the stalk. You don't want to eat the leaf, or maybe you can eat the leaves, but you have to process them. The rest of rhubarb you can eat raw. Like it's really not gonna harm you. I would say though, like, it is very sour. So like, I don't think it's very enjoyable to eat raw. So like, it might be like crab apples that if you eat it raw, or a decent amount of it raw, it gives you a stomach ache. But I wonder if part of that is more the acidity of it rather than anything else. Some people don't like the texture of cooked rhubarb though. It can get a little like, it really like melts down and doesn't hold its structure super well, and it can get a little like mushy for some people. But yeah, as far as I know, you can't eat the leaves, and if you can eat the leaves, you probably have to do something to it. So yeah, you don't want to go too far up the stalk. We ate the rhubarb stalks dipped in sugar. See, that's a good way, because yeah, they're very tart. Think of like the most sour Granny Smith apple you've ever had. It's the first time I've ever heard of that plant. It's very common. People around here mix rhubarb with strawberry a lot. Like rhubarb, strawberry, crisp or crumble or pie is like a pretty common summer food. It's not, sometimes people make jam with it, but I think it's normally mixed with strawberry. It's harder to find by itself, I guess. But yeah, it's like thin stalks, almost like celery, but they're bright red stalks, and then at the top they have these big floppy leaves. I feel like rhubarb is a very cool weather crop. Yeah, it doesn't do well in high heat. Like right now my rhubarb is just starting to come in, and it'll probably be done by like, it'll keep plugging along through the summer, but it gets really wilty when it's really hot. So it's like probably like end of April, May, maybe into June, unless it gets really hot in June. So it's definitely a cooler weather friend. But the nice thing is that rhubarb is a perennial. So you plant it once, and I think it has a rhizome. I think it like dies back to its rhizome. And so you can divide it that way. That's normally how you do it. You can divide it if you want it to spread. It'll spread on its own too. And so you only plant it once basically. And as long as it survives, it'll come back every year. So it's kind of a nice crop in that way. But yeah, strawberries are a summer crop here. We generally don't, like in season, we probably don't really get strawberries until June and July around here. But I know other places it's more of a spring crop, but it's more of a summer crop up by me. I do have some alpine strawberries that I've grown in the past, and those are definitely a little bit earlier. Those are maybe more of a June. They'll keep fruiting through July, but yeah, full-size strawberries, I think well more into summer is how I think of them. You can probably get them in May. It's just very cold around here, so even like through May, so I feel like unless you're keeping them either inside or you've got a greenhouse situation, they don't really fruit until at least May, June, July. Which is why I found it really odd when I was living in Japan that like strawberry daifuku was like available. around like cherry blossom season, because cherry blossom season is like now, but we don't have strawberries now. I mean, we do, and you know, modern grocery stores mean we have just about everything year round, but they get shipped in from somewhere else or are grown in a greenhouse. They are not really, if you're growing stuff outside, the strawberries are certainly not fruiting right now. There are a lot of June bearing varieties common in the US. Yeah, that makes sense. I think June bearing is probably just like, it probably makes the most sense for most climates in the US for that to be the timing. I don't have a whole lot, there's not a whole lot of like, I don't really do a real spring garden unless we're talking like flowers. Most things that I grow are definitely like summer or fall things. My blackberry bush I planted last year came back really well. Yay, that's exciting. Blackberries. We have these black raspberries that we did not plant, but I think a bird or a squirrel or something grabbed a black raspberry from the forest, and the seeds ended up getting planted on like the corner of my deck near our trash cans. So we call it the trash black raspberry, and it is like a prolific vine at this point, and it is winding all over my deck. They kind of tripped people coming up to the deck, but I kind of think of it as like it's like a safety measure. Like, if you want to rob my house, you first have to get through these vines, and you're probably not gonna do that without making a ruckus, so... Home security of the plant variety. I don't know if it's gonna fruit this year. It fruited a little bit last year. I don't really know how much nutrients are actually in the soil over there, so... And it gets some light, but it's like in the shade of a big sycamore tree, so once the sycamore leaves come in, it's definitely shaded most of the time, so we'll see how it fares. It had a rough time last year, thought she was a goner, but her leaves are so bright and happy. She was a late spring, late summer batch. Yay! I'm glad she made it. At the house, we almost only grow cabbage and collards. I mean, I feel like it's hard to go wrong with cabbage and collards. Those are both good things. I think you can cut back blackberries and raspberries to encourage them to come back thicker in late fall, early winter. Yeah, that sounds about right. We've been letting them just do what they do. But I should probably start cultivating them a little bit more. I've been meaning to cut back, I need to start phasing out. We have these invasive Japanese wine berries, which are delicious, but they're not native. They grow very prolifically, and they are an invasive species, but they do feed a lot of animals, like a lot of birds and squirrels, and all sorts of things eat them. So I've been on a multi-year journey to kind of cut back the wineberry bushes and anytime that I see native black raspberry vines in the area, I'll like cut the wineberries back in the hopes that the black raspberries take their spot. Never heard of a wineberry. What does it taste like? It's like a more tart, raspberry. It looks very similar to a raspberry, but instead of being like that deep red color, it's more of like an orange color. Like an orange red, I guess. It's not orange per se. And they are actually kind of sticky, like tomatillos. They have similar to tomatillos having like that papery leaf outside to them. they have the same kind of like sticky substance on them. So when I gather wineberries, I actually keep a clean hand and a sticky hand. Otherwise, I come back with just like sap all over myself. And they're vines. I don't actually know if they're vines. What am I thinking of? Not a vine. Call them pricker bushes, but there's definitely another name. Canes. Their canes they almost look fuzzy. So they have thorns on them, but they're the really thin type, kind of like those fuzzy looking cacti that will actually ruin your day. They have both normal thorns on them and those like fuzzy thorns, and their canes are like a bright red color. So they're pretty easy to spot. It's easy to tell which cane belongs to a blackberry or a black raspberry or a wineberry. But yeah. My garden is on a rat highway, so I'm avoiding produce growing. Oh, that's sad. A rat highway. Is it what it sounds like, where rats just are prolific? Alright, I think I'm done with the Maiden Memoirs. I feel like we've watched that show so many times. I think we're good. I think we're good. Like gooseberries? I think they're like gooseberries, though I have never had a gooseberry myself, so I feel like they're probably a similar vein if they're both kind of a more tart situation and sticky. But the birds and stuff love them. They love those things. Alright, we're keeping the animals inside today. Because it's gonna be snowing. Rats run along the trees outside my area, and they also tunnel into my garden bed along the drainage trench. Oh, okay, so like literally a rat highway. Also, welcome in, Raps! Welcome in, welcome in. Let me get you a raid shout out. Welcome, welcome. What were you guys up to today? You were playing Animal Crossing New Horizons. How was that? How is your island? I hope it was a nice time. I hope you were enjoying. Is it still the Easter event, or is that over? You can tell I'm very hip with the goings on in Animal Crossing. But welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in. My name is Rizaldia. Go by Raz for short. I'm a marionette VTuber. I specialize in farming veggies, like in Story of Seasons, and monsters, like in Monster Hunter. But welcome, welcome. Finally got to decorate my island a bit, put more houses down. It was very cozy. That sounds wonderful. Thankfully, no Bunny Day event. We were free from the eggs. Good, good. What is that man's name? Zipper? Is that his name? The bunny? I don't know how I feel about the bunny and the bunny event. I feel like part of me is just I missed some of the old events. Zipper is terrifying, yes. Zipper is kind of terrifying. I think my favorite event was the old Thanksgiving event in the original Animal Crossing with Franklin. I know that one is super dark, like him asking you to steal silverware from the Thanksgiving table in exchange for furniture, but I loved him. I don't know how he feels about himself. But anywho, Raps, if you have to go get food, a drink, rest, any of that good stuff, please feel free to do so. Of course, we'd love to have you, but if you have to raid and run, by all means, please do not feel pressured to stay. We're just doing some Story of Seasons Friends of Mineral Town. We married Ellie. We're in our second winter. I'm patiently waiting to see when we have a kid. So we're just chilling. We're having a nice time. I didn't get to play that one, but it sounds very Animal Crossing. It was a great festival. Definitely my favorite. Basically, Franklin the turkey thought that he had been invited to the town to be eaten, but he hadn't. They had genuinely just invited him to the town to, like, hang out, so he, like, hid around the town, and he asked you to steal silverware off the Thanksgiving table, because in his mind, if they didn't have silverware, they couldn't eat him. So yeah, that's you would exchange silverware for Franklin's set. It also always upset my parents because my siblings and I would be not hanging out with the family and would be instead clustered around whatever TV we had found to set up our GameCube with, and we'd be stealing silverware for Franklin. So I have to head out for dinner now. The game is so cute though. I love the chickens. The chickens are great. They're very round. They're very good friends. I stayed to hear that. That sounds like such an amazing and awkward event. Perfection. It truly was. Please enjoy your dinner though. I hope it's very tasty. Thank you for bringing everybody by. I promise we'll take care of your community. The cottagers will be nice. Nice and welcoming. But yeah, I miss old Animal Crossing. I also liked the summer Dagio Taiso, like aerobics in the town square. That was also one of my favorite events. Just like truly blessed. Goofy things that they were like, I don't know. I feel like the Thanksgiving event was like too dark. I think they thought it was like too much for kids. So they were like, let's take that one out. Can you feed the 9th hay to a cow directly? You can. I'm actually putting it in this cow. We actually have 5 cows, so the other 4 eat 2 pieces of hay per day. My 5th cow is actually pregnant, so she has to... Don't ask me why a pregnant cow needs only 1 piece of hay, but apparently she does, and she gets it separately over here. I could give it to them directly, so I could give Tadpole her hay by herself, and that would just be fine. She wouldn't need it in her spot, but yeah, I just find it easier mentally because I know that I would just forget that I had done it, so I toss it over there for her. When do cows start eating too? They start eating too, I think from the very beginning, or at least from like, they might not eat too when they're like baby, but when they get a little bit bigger, they eat too. So I feed 2. As you'll notice, there's 2 slots per cow. So it's supposed to be 1 for the morning and 1 for the afternoon. Granted, when they're outside, they feed themselves, so it's all good. Speaking of Nintendo, my partner and I are hoping for Tomodachi Life 2. Wasn't there a Tomodachi Life? Am I wild? Was there a Tomodachi Life announced? You misread. I did? Tomodachi Life. Oh, I was like, wasn't there a Tomodachi? Tomodachi. What was even Tomodachi Life 1? I never heard of that game. This has saved me killing cows later on. I think they might get sick if you do it long term, but I kind of feel like if you only feed them once per day, they might just get mad at you. And maybe won't give you milk consistently, or you might just have a hard time getting their heart levels up. Congratulations! You're our winner! After a rigorously supervised raffle process, you were chosen as our grand prize winner. Prize attached below. Wow. Van's favorite. Alright, let's go. Oh, I forgot. The orchard. We got things. Don't ask me why the bees are like super active in winter. I don't know. They build new nests every day. Alright, let's give flower to the goddess. Oh, big snoozing, Miss Pickles. Oh, well, if it isn't Raz, how lovely of you to come see me again. I always appreciate an offering. Goodness, you've been so kind visiting me so often that I simply must return the favor with a little gift. Here, please accept this white grass. Come see me again soon. Oh my, I'm rather fond of this. How wonderful. Thank you, and bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thanks for the white grass. If I search with the A, Google only gives me, oh, it's Tomodachi. Yeah, I typed it in my accent. Oh, wasn't there a Tomodachi Life? Am I wilding? Did I hallucinate that in the Nintendo Direct? For the Switch too? I swear. Mary said they're excited for it. Oh, that's what I misread. Oh my god. Okay, so I am hallucinating. Let's pretend that I know how to read. Let's pretend. It turns out it's not just kanji that I can't read. Thank you for translating B, because clearly that sentence boggled my brain. My partner and I are very hyped for it. That's good. Is that coming out in summer? Or is it... Or is that one of the ones that's like, oh, 2026? Okay. I couldn't figure out which... Some of those games were summer, some were like holiday time, and then some were like far off. Tomodachi, yeah. 2 Direct. Are you guys gonna get the Switch too? I feel like they weren't gonna get me. Like, I'm not a big Nintendo person generally. Hi, Raz. Hope the farming is going well. Welcome in, Perky. Farming's going great. Our money-making schemes are working out for us. I feel like I wasn't gonna get the Switch too, because most of the games I was like, these exist. But then they got to Kirby Air Riders, and I was like, dang it, Nintendo, you got me again. You got me again. I was not gonna get the Switch 2. I was gonna skip it. Like, I don't really like the more modern Animal Crossings. I haven't really been a fan of, so I was kind of ready to be like, all right, I might retire from Animal Crossing, because I didn't really like New Horizons. And I was like, all right, well, I guess, you know, maybe I'll be done with Nintendo and I can just live my best life on PC. And then they were like Kirby Air Riders, and I was like, fine. You got me. We're getting it ASAP. Easier to justify when shared between two people. That is true. If you have 2 people in your household that want to play games on it, it makes more sense, I think. My husband and I were thinking of getting the PS5 first. Yeah, I feel like PS5 first would also be what we would do. Or a Steam Deck. I kind of want to... We might just do the Steam Deck. Probably no Switch 2 for me, at least on release. I don't think I will get Switch 2, but I hope everyone who does enjoys it. They need to have City Trial. Dude, if they release Kirby Air Riders with no City Trial, they will have fumbled the bag so hard. It would be unreal. Also, welcome in, Superhero. I'm sorry if I missed your comment on YouTube. Hope you're doing well. Happy Thursday. All the Nintendo property I used to enjoy aren't my interest anymore, and a lot of the others I can get on PC. Exactly, B. That's the boat that I'm into. Steam Deck for Balatro is also a dream of mine. Yes. That sounds hype. Yeah, it doesn't... Oh, it's not as comfy to me on your phone. I was gonna say, I thought it was on phone too, but I get you. Sometimes you just need more real estate, and the Steam Deck has that. I still got a lot of Switch 1 backlog, but also I play more third parties on Switch, and I don't feel like updating my PC anyway. I feel like that's fair. I mean, to be fair, PC gaming is always the more expensive. Like, if your interest in games is like the newest cutting edge games, the you know, Monster Hunter Wilds of games that are really graphically intensive, then PC gaming is far more expensive than gaming on console generally, because you have to constantly upgrade graphics cards and other things, which cost a lot. But yeah, I feel like for me, I keep my PC pretty updated, so I'm gonna be there anyway. I'm gonna be there anyway. How are you? I'm doing pretty well. We're just chilling, doing some mining and just chatting about games. We're chatting about the Switch 2. I was asking if anyone was gonna get the Switch 2 because I said that I wasn't until they announced Kirby Air Riders. Though, like Mary said, I gotta see more. If they release Kirby Air Riders without City Trial, then that's a fake Kirby Air Ride to me. And then that'll be done. I can wipe my hands of yet another franchise. It's not even about money, it's like the amount of work that requires me to have a PC with everything working as it is right now. My PC is almost 9 years old now. GPU is slightly newer, but it's CPU bottlenecked right now anyway. I get that. I understand. I get it. I get you. Have you ever passed out in Winter's Mind on New Year's Eve? No? Does something special happen? Should I put that on my list of things to experience? Cause I would be down. I'm always down for goofy instances in this game, like when we got Cliff to when we had the Cliff gets passed out and then we passed out and they dragged him away through the Ellie, our wife, dragged him away through the hospital. That was like my peak cutscene. I trapped my basket there. Oh no! Agony. That's terrible. Question is, what happens if you stay there past midnight? So there is no pass out mechanic. In this game, like midnight, you don't have to go to bed by midnight. But it just gets mad late, I guess. And then your next day is kind of shot, I suppose. I think you sleep late if you go to bed past midnight, like you don't wake up at 6 a.m. I don't think you fully restore all of your stamina and stuff, and then I think there's probably a point at which you just sleep to the next day. So, I don't know what time that would be, but can you stay there overnight? I think so. I mean, we could do it. We could hang. I mean, the time doesn't pass in the mine, so you'd have to stand like outside of the mine for hours. So you get stuck inside because you could stay in the entrance part and have time. Oh, right. I forgot. I forgot that was a thing. You get trapped on the island. Is there a way to unstick, or is it just like, well, see you in a year? Then you die? I don't know. I guess you just make yourself, like, pass out. Because I think if you pass out in this one, you just go to the doctor. My god. I'm so curious. I guess we should see. We'll find out. They might just teleport us to the doctor instead of making us be trapped on the island, but what if you stay in the water at midnight? Oh, that's a good question. Let's do it. Let's see where, you know what? I'll put that on the list. We'll stand it like here. Like very much, actually like here, like deep in the middle, like where they can't just like pour dust to either side easily. We'll see what happens. It'll be an experiment. Does the season change if you don't change location? That's a good question. I don't know. They might have a little failsafe built in that if you don't leave the location, like you don't change screens, it doesn't change the season. Get saved by Kappa, Little Mermaid style. Oh, that'd be so sick. Kappa in his like anime form, his like troubled anime boy form that he got in here. Troubled anime protag, his Sasuke Uchiha form. He'll have like his bangs in front of his face. And he won't say anything to you. He'll just like put you on the shore. That sounds pretty on brand, I gotta say. Hot spring is so cute. It's so cute. I love the hot springs. One of my favorite parts of these games. Hoping and begging for it. Oh. I mean, if that happens, we can stop playing the game right there. That would be peak. We would have experienced everything that would be possible. It would be like, all right, well, can't top that. I guess we'd have to move on to Red Dead Redemption 2. That would be the that'd be the time. There are many things to test now, like do festivals exist if you don't leave the plaza? That's, again, a fine question. I don't know. I don't know if they like kick you out. If they're like, alright, get out of here. Red Dead Redemption 2 mentioned. It's gonna be fun. Ultimate horse game. It's gonna be a fun time. Can you bring a knife to the gunfight that is Red Dead Redemption 2? Because I'm like not great at shooters. I've always been more of a melee DPS person. Yeah, okay. Maybe we'll just build a melee build. We'll just rush people down. It's pretty generous with aiming. I don't know if it's generous enough with my aim. I feel like mine's pretty bad. At least these days. I haven't really played shooters in so long. You could fist fight enemies too. Oh my god, what if we just end up being like a puncher? Boxing people. Red Dead Redemption was really easy when I played it. Oh, that's good. I like to hear that. I like being a, if it's not combat that I really enjoy, I'm happy for it to be easy. Bare Knuckles Boxer? Yes! Bare Knuckles, Red Dead Redemption 2, here we come. Also, welcome in, Hell. Let me get you a raid shout out. What are you guys doing today? Welcome, welcome. Hello, Raz. How are you doing today? Welcome in, welcome in. You guys, oh, you're playing Sea of Thieves. Did you have so much fun? What are you guys doing in Sea of Thieves? I love Sea of Thieves. Hello, hello. Welcome in, Hell and Raiders. Welcome, welcome. My name is Rosaldia. I go by Raz for short. I'm a marionette VTuber. I specialize in farming veggies, like in Story of Seasons, and monsters, like in Monster Hunter. Welcome in. I had so much stress. I was alone. Oh no, solo slooping is hard. That is definitely playing Sea of Thieves. I almost said Story of Thieves, which that'd be kind of an interesting crossover, Sea of Thieves and Story of Seasons. But I'm doing well. We're just, we were discussing all the ways in which we could investigate how we could break this game. But otherwise, we're chilling. We're trying to get, money from the winter mine. I have a bit of a mining scheme because time does not pass in the mine, so I've been resetting the first level over and over. Actually so bad at the game, I panic way too much. I think that's fair. It can be a stressful game. Sea of Thieves is so good. It's so fun, but it is stressful if you're by yourself. Your model's very cute. I love marionettes. I'm glad. My art mama and my rig mama, they are the same person. Mama Cinna did an amazing job. Panic makes for good content, though. That is true. That is true. Panic does make for more entertainment for everybody else. Maybe not as entertaining for the streamer themselves, who is stressed, but, you know. Obviously, hell, if you have to go get food, a drink, rest, lower your heart rate after some very stressful solo slooping, by all means. You are welcome to raid and run if you must. Oh my goodness, my thing. I'm gonna try and reset my controller for a sec. Nope. Okay, I'm gonna mouse and keyboard it, and then we're gonna have to restart the game. It did not like me, alt-tabbing. Anyway, but yes, if you need to go... Oh, it's fixed now. It's fixed. Please raid and run. By all means, get some food. I hope it's very tasty. But thank you for bringing everybody by. I super appreciate it. The cottagers and I will take good care of them. Enjoy your lurk. I think the last time I played a Story of Seasons game, it was called Harvest Moon. Well, this is a remake. This one's a remake of the Game Boy Advanced game. So far on stream, let's see, what of the series have we completed? We have completed Harvest Moon SNES, Harvest Moon Game Boy, Story of Seasons A Wonderful Life, Story of Seasons Pioneers of Olive Town, Doraemon Story of Seasons, and Doraemon Story of Seasons Friends of the Great Kingdom. So we've been making good progress in making our way through the pinnacle farming games. But I'm a big fan of the older games, I gotta say. I mean, my favorite one of all time was actually, surprisingly, Doraemon Story of Seasons Friends of the Great Kingdom was unreal in how good it was. Though I don't necessarily think it's for everybody, because I think a lot of fans of the Harvest Moon and Story of Seasons games really like the romance aspect, and because that game was a Doraemon crossover, there is no... They're kids, so it's like none of the kids are having any romance, obviously. There is a romance subplot with some adults in the game, but it's not like you getting married or romancing anyone, so for the people that really like the dating sim aspect of it, it doesn't have that. But the actual, like, farming, the story was really good, like, the writing was really good. I enjoyed it. Whatever you do, don't pick any new Harvest Moon. Yes, I guess any any game called Harvest Moon made after 2013 is made by the publishers, the Western publishers, not the Japanese publishers. So it's not made by the same devs. The original devs go by the name Marvelous, and they changed their Western name to Story of Seasons, but their Japanese name has always been Bokujo Monogatari, so their Japanese name has never changed. Feeling really nostalgic for SNES. SNES is so good. Like, it honestly genuinely holds up really well. It's really refreshing coming from, like, how complicated modern farming sims are. It's kind of nice to go back and play through, like, the really pared down experience. I actually really liked Harvest Moon Game Boy for that same reason, because it even takes away the romance aspect. And it's just the farming, and it's kind of nice and chill. Animal Parade is still peak to me. The last the original creator worked on. I am excited to go back and, like, play Animal Parade, because, like, I think I played a bit of it when it came out, because my sister had it. But I think by that point, I was, like, moving more into my PC gaming era, and she was kind of doing more of the console stuff, so I feel like I'm gonna be excited to see it in its glory when I... Oh, I forgot to put Calf away. I'm sorry, Calf. You probably should not have been outside because it's snowing. Game Boy was super fun. I honestly, for people that like farming sims but, like, haven't played any of the old games, I recommend it. It's a good time. Also, is my relationship with my wife degrading now that I have been going to sleep after her? I would think no. Because that is pretty punishing, but hard to say. I haven't been giving her gifts, and we're still at full happiness, like full friendship and romance, so okay, I guess we're fine. I guess we're doing all right. In some of the games, going to sleep after your wife is like a death sentence, for your relationship, at least. Not literally, you won't literally die from that, but not great for the happiness of your marriage. Let's see, today's Sunday. I think Lou is in the inn. Hello, girl. Also, I loved our wedding, like, both of our wedding dresses during our wedding were so cute. So heckin' cute. Alright, it's gonna be sunny tomorrow. Me estranged from my wife and SNES. Yeah, Nina was, like, not happy with me at one point. I forgot that was a mechanic, and then I was like, oh. I think that's partially why we only had one kid. It was either that or I took way too long to propose to her, but I think it was me going to bed late. Hi, how's farming? Welcome in, Chris. Happy Thursday. Things are going well. Hope things are good by you. I want to have it re-released in DS because I want to try it, but I'm aware it has problems everywhere. Animal Parade? Is that the one we're talking about? Oh yeah, Dear Princess, Part 30. Wait! cries the legendary hero as I lift the glass towards my lips. He's convinced himself that the Dark Lord poisoned the juice I made this morning. If you don't drink it, then I will. Oh, if you don't drink it, then I will, I say, eager to move on. Then I'll drink it, said the brave warrior, takes the glass and downs it in one sip. Glug, glug. Phew, thanks, says the knight. That tasted great, dear princess. My stamina's completely recovered. He takes up his sword with renewed vigor and says, Now, I shall defeat the Dark Lord and return you safely to the palace, so hang on just a little longer. Satisfied that I finally get to watch a couple of beefcakes wail on each other for my amusement, I settle into my seat as the show begins. Begone, monster, cries the legendary hero. You don't belong in this kingdom. It was not by my request that you have come, says the Dark Lord. We were called here by the princess, who wished to offer me her hand. Her hand? You stole a girl from her home, and made her your prisoner. Perhaps the same could be said of all arranged marriages. Princess Kind ill needs a suitor such as you. What is a princess? The Dark Lord throws his glass, which shatters on the floor. A marriageable little pile of secrets, but enough talk. I have at you. To be continued. Oh, yo, I thought the juice was gonna be poisoned. Is it not? Is it not? Harvest Moon DS. Oh, Harvest Moon DS has a lot going on in it. I'm doing well. Got a few friends to pick up Neon White during the sale. Now we're all getting competitive about times on specific levels. It's good fun. That sounds like fun. If you go late to bed, your wife is less happy and you get less kids. That implies you probably do something daily. Yeah, it's I think in general it's meant to be like that you're not like coming home and like having dinner and like having a relationship with your wife in like any sense of the word. Like you just don't even show up until she's like asleep. You don't even have dinner together. But yeah, I think there's certain characters that if you marry them and their like happiness drops low enough, I think they will actually leave you. I think Eve is that way in the original. I don't know if it's a separate cutscene or like what happens, but she has like issues with that in particular. That's like she's maybe one of the easiest ones to marry, I believe, but like has this kind of caveat to her that like you cannot neglect her in your marriage. I love that TV show. Dear Princess is my favorite one. Husband working until way late and never home. Yeah. My husband had a coworker like that. My husband worked in finance and he like had a boss who worked like way too much to the point where like the kid like didn't really like acknowledge him. So then he had a mentee bee and started hanging out with his family, so that's good. That's a positive thing. Positive change came out of it, but yeah, the classic dad is not home enough to be recognized as family by a young child. So yeah, I guess the games were trying to be like, hey man, I understand that the work of a farmer is hard, but you gotta go home. Oh my god, there's an ice cream truck outside? Can you catch it? Is it that season already? I never have ice cream trucks come to I live too in the woods for ice cream trucks to come to my house or come near my house, but if you can catch it, I recommend. Truly one of the most joyful experiences. It's been really great weather lately. That's good. It's been like nice for us. It's been hot. It was hot, I guess, like last weekend it was really hot. In a sense, the farmer is always home. Well, that is true. Yes and no. I want an ice cream, be right back. Yes, by all means, please enjoy tracking down an ice cream from the ice cream truck. Alright, tadpole. Everybody is happy and healthy. Exactly what we want to see. Let's see. Okay. Got everybody's stuff. Gotta put their food out. And... doo-doo. There we go. Perfect. And I want to process these into cheese, because I think they sell for more that way. Excuse me. I really need a bell or something to get these cows to not be in my way when we're in there. Kind of hard to push. I mean, they are big animals, so I guess that makes sense. Makes sense. Oh, okay. I'm always getting bamboozled by the honey. I guess I am literally stealing these beehives from the trees, so maybe it should be difficult. Alright. Oh, I didn't know I could mount calf from over the fence. New tech. Alright. Let's do this. Also, you guys, I'll have to remind myself to have a save file before we attempt to put ourselves in the river, in the lake, on New Year's, just in case I do strand myself. Probably don't want to brick the save. Or, like, lose a whole day, at least. Also, just in case it auto-saves when you, pass out. I don't actually remember if it does. Before you attempt to what? Okay, we were thinking... So you know how this is the winter mine, right? And the winter mine, the lake freezes over in order for you to get to it. We were like, what happens if you just stand, like, here when it changes from midnight to, like, 1 a.m.? Like, does this just instantly melt? Like, what happens? Because, like, the seasons are supposed to turn, but, like, what occurs? So we were ruminating on, like, what might happen, but I have to remember to, like, get a save file. Just in case. Just in case I do something wild and it works out. Perhaps how we anticipated, but also not at the same time. My best guess would be it only changes when you go to bed, but it might do something silly. See, that's what we were thinking. We think it might only change if you go to bed or if you move away from the screen. Just as, like, a failsafe to prevent you from doing stuff like that, but there's only one way to find out. It's by testing it. We also wondered what happens if you stay overnight in the town square on a festival day. Like, do they kick you out? Because they have to set up the festival? Or does the festival just not happen? You just loiter there? I don't know. Another thing to test. Also, let me pause for 1 second, guys. Just 1 sec. Put you guys on a quick, be right back screen. But I'll be right back. Hello, Bear.
What?
Welcome home. Were the veggies not there?
No.
Did they call and confirm that with you?
They emailed me.
Yeah.
93 magic. Yeah, it's very weird to me. Where's their email? Are you still streaming, by the
I
way?
am, yeah, but I'm muted and stuff. Put them on a break screen.
Welcome to the Thursday, April. Your first delivery will be Thursday, April 24th.
Yeah.
I sent this last night at 7 p.m.
Okay.
Please be sure to leave a cooler with ice packs out on Thursday.
I guess we'll give them, you know.
Yeah, until it's not Thursday anymore.
Yeah. Or like, 9 p.m. or something. When they're probably not coming by. And you said the side door?
Yeah, that's what I'm checking. Maybe I did something wrong. Yeah, the cooler will be next to the side door, accessible from the driveway. Can't really be any more specific. Yeah, maybe it's just, they emailed me at 7 yesterday. Maybe they'll just do it soon.
Yeah. We'll see. Anyway, just wanted to say hi. Check in.
See.
Miss you too. Baby missed you. She tried to type to you. Do you need your thing back?
No. Just chill.
Okay. You had an okay day?
Yeah,
Busy.
kid.
Yeah, they doing okay?
Yeah, we worked some things out. Some of them.
Yeah.
I thought Ricardo getting a D. It seemed like picks it the fuck up.
Yeah. What do you say?
He was like, yeah, okay.
Okay, also don't call your own kid an idiot. Like,
Yeah, listen. I understand.
alright. Anywho. Love you. Come back to strumming. Oh, I forgot to mute. No! You guys heard all that? I'm sorry. Oh my god. I got the muted stuff. I'm sorry. Oh, you guys heard all my talk about the veggies. You are not muted. It's okay. You guys didn't hear anything wild. I was asking where our veggies were. We were supposed to have veggies delivered today and they didn't show up. I was asking where they were and how my husband's day was. Anyway, yeah, I guess I turned off the music. I can read. I'm having a rough day. Clearly, I saw the mic and my music are like next to each other. Anyway. Awkward. That's the scuff. We've achieved scuff today. Now you gotta edit the VOD. I don't think you heard anything incriminating. Virtually nothing scandalous, yeah. I don't think anything scandalous happened. I displaced my comfy cats for nothing. No! I went outside and I couldn't find the truck. No! That's so sad. We love scuff. Yeah, well. Yeah, I don't think I said anything wild. You have to let me know if I guess I'll go back and see if I said anything incriminating about, like, where I live or something, but I don't think so. I think I was just like, were there veggies? They were gone. You missed Raz's husband while chasing the truck. Look at this VTuber sneaking veggies. Exactly. This VTuber talking about her veggies not showing up on the side door of my house. I've been checking all day. I've been running around my house. My foot is like taped up from this surgery that I had yesterday, so I've been hobbling around checking like every couple of hours to see if the veggies arrived in our cooler. Nope. That's why I was like, let me mute. I should have double muted, but I got complacent. So I was like, I'll ask my husband. And no, they're still not here. Still not here. We now know what he sounds like, though. I think he said hi before. Like, briefly. So, can't believe what I'm hearing. Everyone knows anime girls can't eat vegetables. Everyone knows that. Anime girls can't eat. We can't eat anything. We only exist on your screen. Thank you for trying to let me know that I was not muted, though. I literally had OBS up in front of the chat, so all of your attempts were in vain, but I appreciate the thought. Also, thank you for the head pats. Where is my horse? Horse. Calf. Let's go see. I don't think Lou is gonna give us any more, whatchamacallits, recipes. Just looking out for you, friend. I appreciate you. Hi, husband. B says hi, bear. He might say hi back in the chat or something. I don't know. Everyone do a great big stretch. Thank you for the posture check. Make sure that you are an uncooked shrimp if you must be a shrimp. And make sure you get a sip of something. Doesn't matter what it is. Something is better than nothing. My cat is still comfy. That's good. That is good. That's really the most important thing. I just did the same thing. Important. Stretching. Hydrating. Oh my god, I'm punching the mic. You know, these are all signs. That's my husband, by the way. Errol. So he's just giving the simple smile. I stretched my legs, I walked the block. Oh, perfect. Yeah, you got a little bit of sun. You got a little bit of exercise. Got some nice wind in your face. Okay, I think I haven't unlocked enough recipes for Lou to give me more. I don't really know which ones I'm missing. I think some of it is I haven't unlocked some of the new crops. So, like strawberries, I don't think I've unlocked. I don't think I've unlocked kabocha. So there's definitely some recipes that I have not been able to make. So, we'll see. A year 3 thing. I enjoyed the nice day. See, that's the important bit. That's the important bit. I'm really bummed about these veggies. I keep thinking of that. I was really excited for these veggies. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have so many fresh veggies to eat. And then they just haven't shown up. I love kabocha. It's so good. If you guys have not even eaten kabocha, 1, it is a unique squash experience. 2, it's just very tasty. Kabocha are kind of like if a sweet potato and a squash had a baby. It's probably the best way I can describe it. They're like a starchy squash and kind of naturally sweet. Kabocha croquettes are amazing. They are. That's kind of one of my favorite ways to eat kabocha. I like kabocha many ways, but croquettes, pretty next level. Oh my god. Homegirl is cooked in-game and out. Kabocha tempura. Yeah, it's really good in tempura. It like holds its shape really well. I think because it's so starchy. So it does well in the high heat and the frying that you need to get in tempura. Kabocha sounds like a setup for a D's nut stroke. Sadly, no. Kabocha fries would be really good. Ooh, yes. I feel like if Japan doesn't have kabocha fries, I feel like they're missing out. I feel like that's an untapped market. I feel like someone must have made that, but if they haven't... They don't call it kabocha where I am, they call it pumpkin. Do they? I guess they call it pumpkin in this game, but it's not really a pumpkin, it's a kabocha. Pumpkin is a distinct squash that is not kabocha. They are different. Though I guess we call a lot of different things pumpkins that are also not really pumpkins. you know. I've heard some places call all squash pumpkin. Oh. I know I've had it as tempura, though. I've not had kabocha croquettes. If you have access to buying kabocha at, like, the grocery store, like, I don't know how often you'd be able to get kabocha croquettes at, like, a restaurant, but if you can get it at a grocery store and make your own croquettes, I recommend, because it's just so good as a croquette. It was, like, made for croquettes. Now I feel like this fall I'm gonna have to get some. I might grow some this year. I don't know. I have to, like, think about that. Might have never really grown big enough to do a lot with them, but if I don't grow big enough ones, then maybe I'll buy one and I'll make fries, because now that B has said that, it's in my head. It's hard to find a restaurant, but very worth making. Yeah. It's definitely like a more like a home cook recipe, I guess is the way that I would think of it. So I'm not exactly surprised at it probably not being very common in restaurants. Also, welcome in, Morgie. Hope you're doing well. Happy Thursday. I've never had a squash I've liked. Have you had kabocha, though? Have you had kabocha? Have you had... I'm trying to think of interesting squashes. Or like interesting squash preparations. Because my husband also doesn't really like squash, and I really like squash. Because we're kind of at odds there. Because once you grow, if you grow pumpkins, you eat like, you grow a lot of pumpkins. And when you have one person in the house who likes pumpkin, but like not the other, it ends up being like a lot of leftover food. What about zucchini? Yeah, zucchini, you can do a lot of stuff with zucchini. Also, if you don't like zucchini, you gotta loudly tell everyone that you don't like zucchini, because otherwise, zucchini season comes around and people start trying to foist off zucchinis on you, because zucchinis are prolific. If you have a zucchini plant, it will produce so many zucchinis. So you have to loudly tell everyone, every person with a garden that you know, the first thing you have to say to them is, I don't like zucchini. Very important thing for them to know. Do the different types of cows change anything? Yes, in this game, different cows have different types of milk. So there's regular cows, and they produce regular milk. There are cows that produce chocolate milk, strawberry milk, and fruit milk. So the different colors actually do produce different types of milk. And basically everything except for normal milk cannot be processed, so you can't make like fruit milk into butter or cheese. I would eat everyone's garden zucchini. See, that's dangerous though, because then you end up like my friend and you end up with like way too many zucchinis being gifted to you, and then you have to turn it into like, you have to eat zucchini bread like every week for the rest of the year. I don't dislike it, but yeah, you have to be if you like zucchini, you have to be careful who you trust with that knowledge. But yeah, I feel like what other squashes? Do you not like acorn squash? Or butternut squash? Like, I love me a butternut squash ravioli with sage. That's pretty good. Just like we thought when we were kids. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they made all the cows in this game are very much a childhood fantasy where they're like chocolate milk cows and strawberry milk cows exist. Spaghetti squash. See, I actually don't love spaghetti squash as much as I think a lot of other people enjoy spaghetti squash a lot more than me. It's probably one of my lower tier squashes. I don't hate it. I will still eat it. But I'm always like, I feel like there are other squashes that I would rather be eating. I would rather be eating pumpkin. Pumpkin is also pretty good for croquettes. But yeah, I feel like spaghetti squash, I don't know if it was like the dieting culture or something. People got like really excited about spaghetti squash, and I was like, it's mid. Yeah, but there's cucumbers. Do you like pickles? I feel like we're getting kind of away from the conceptual squash. I feel like Mary probably enjoys pickles and watermelons and other things that are in the squash family, but are not what we technically consider squashes. What's the weather tomorrow? Winter Wonderland. Please make sure your house is closed up tight. Okay, so it's blizzarding tomorrow. Okay. Fish or be fished. Don't fish for mediocrity. Cast your line for excellence and reel. It's time for another episode of the Fishing Fact Show, Fish or Be Fished. Today, we've got a famous angler, Mr. Fisher, talking to us about what we can fish up during the icy season of winter. Oh, Mr. Fisher! Hello there, Mr. Fisher here. Fish don't tend to be very active in winter, but as long as you keep burning the midnight oil, you can still fish up some whoppers. Head to the ocean in winter, and you'll find plenty of cod and yellowtail. Meanwhile, silver carp are everywhere downstream. Try discovering for yourself what kind of fishing rod you need to land these beauties. Thank you very much. See you again next time, folks. Thanks, Mr. Fisher. I'm lacking in my squash experience. I need to cook with them more often. I always thought watermelon wasn't considered a squash, but was related. I've only had butternut squash soup. Okay, we need to expand your horizons, friend. First of all, most winter squash, at least, so there's summer squash, and then summer squash are like young squash. And then there's like winter squash, or what you think of like pumpkins. They have like a harder outside that is not really edible, or less edible without processing it. And they keep better, like most like pumpkins and stuff, butternut squash, maybe less pumpkins, but butternut squash you can keep at like room temperature for months. I mean, can't be like too warm, but they keep well without being super refrigerated. So summer squash are great on the grill. Like, if you slice up zucchini, the yellow summer squash, put a little bit of, like, Worcestershire sauce on them, or, like, pickle pepper sauce, and put those on the grill. Tasty. Super good. Spaghetti squash. Spaghetti is good. I think that's fair. Yeah, I feel like spaghetti squash... I just feel like it got hyped too much. But yeah, spaghetti squash, if you've never had spaghetti squash, give it a try. Though if you're not super into squash, maybe it won't be the best. For winter squash, I'm telling you guys, tempura is great. Croquettes, so if you're doing like an acorn squash, a butternut squash, kabocha, pumpkin, those are all pretty sick as croquettes, raviolis, like as the stuffing in a ravioli. They're good as soups, but like I feel like they're pretty one note. So if you really don't like thick cream-based soups, it's probably not going to be the most enjoyable experience. Versus if you have it as like a croquette, it's just tasty. It's just like a tasty ball of flour and squash and stuff. What are you doing, Miss Pickles? What are you doing? Your whole body is in the way. Do you want to go where you want to go? You gonna go to your spot? My goodness, thank you, girl. Roasted squash with maple and nuts. Yes, it's so good. So good. Do I hear Southern as an aspect of your accent? So, I am actually from New England, but my mom is from the South. So, I might have some weird ways that I say certain words. From my mom. Also, B, thank you for the pet pick redeem. She has moved on to her little bed, but do you have any special requests for pick pets? I'm on a diet and this conversation is making me so hungry. I'm sorry. We are really getting into the food. We were talking about eating weird stuff earlier too. Talking about eating crayons and erasers and stuff. Strange things we ate as kids, so I guess we're still on the food topic. Though at least this time we've moved on to actually edible things. So, improvement? Just a good petting and hello? Alright, I have to get her food in like 10 minutes, so I will give her those pets when we stop for that. I'm from the Northeast as well with Southern family, so I have the same sort of transience to my accent. Yeah, you pick up like certain words that you say a certain way. We are the same in that way. Also, you know what? Mixed accents are more fun, I think. I think pumpkins were the first ever farmed crop in ancient times. It makes sense. They're very prolific. Though at least, like, pumpkins are from North and South America. At least, like, the Halloween pumpkin is from there. Also, potatoes and tomatoes. So, sorry, Italy. That's not like an super old crop to you. We had a lot of those. I guess, I don't know. To be fair, potatoes and tomatoes are nightshades, which humans were not super keen on eating for a while, because, you know, not great. They also tend to go back to being vaguely poisonous after a while, and they kind of... You have to rotate nightshades out of your garden, so if you grow potatoes and tomatoes in, like, the same spot every time, they kind of, like, wreck the soil, so... You are supposed to rotate them. Which is what I did last year. I let one part of my garden, well, my whole garden rest. I kind of took the year off from my Bane garden, but partially that was because I had a tomato patch that was going wild. It's really fun for me when my accent peeks through on certain topics, words, and everyone's like, wow, you sounded super southern there. And you're like, I'm not. I'm kind of secretly got a little bit of southern in you. Just make the soil immune to poison. Easy. If only it was that easy. Oh my god, okay. I might have to let my cows out before I process that. Also, welcome in, CJ. Congrats on finishing all your undergrad classes. At least the class bit. I hope you don't have too many stressful final exams. But congrats on getting all your actual class hours done. I know tomatoes were thought to be super poisonous for a while because they were served on lead plates, and the acid from the tomato juice dissolved a bit of lead into the food. Oh. Dude, why did we loved lead? I don't know what it is. Humans were like, we're like moths to flame with lead. We just loved that stuff. Plates. We were putting it in all kinds of, like, cosmetics, creams. We were like, this is a miracle cure. Lead is great for everything. And then, yeah, it was super not. I actually lucked out in having 0 final exams. I just have a short paper to turn in. Oh, amazing. Don't forget the pipes in Flint, Michigan. I mean, so many things. Lead pipes. We use lead in canning. That's how we used to, like, close canned goods. So you can imagine, like, sailors on ships with canned goods were like, why are we all, like, ending up kind of funky? It was like, well, the lead. The lead in the food you brought. It makes the paint chips so much tastier. It certainly seemed to. We just love lead. We love asbestos. Anytime we discover something and we're like, wow, this is a miracle thing. We should probably think it's poisonous. You know? At this point, I think we have figured out that anything that we discover and like, it's probably poisonous. Lead, poisonous. Asbestos, poisonous. Mercury, poisonous. Radium, poisonous. That was, yep, the Radium Girls. Anime. Anime. Poisonous. So, like, look at all of us here now. Look what anime did to all of us. You don't have to end up like us, kids. You know? So, yeah, anything that we discover and like, it's probably a no-go. Current generation busy loading ourselves up with microplastics. Yeah, we got microplastics all in us. Though part of those headlines was definitely fear-mongering. You know, microplastics are not great for a variety of reasons, but, like, microplastics in your brain actually end up being fine. Remarkably safe, actually. But, like, still not great that we have them, but, like, no real symptoms or anything. I cut the middleman. I'm eating macroplastics. You're just devouring Tupperware. That's a very Florida man move. I just want to say, you would be fulfilling a stereotype. I could see that as a headline. I'm just saying. Eating Tupperware, calling it macroplastics, going out to do something wild after. But yeah, plastic definitely not great. Stays in your stomach for longer, so you don't need to eat as many times a day. If you think about it, that is true. I guess it would fill you up. That's certainly one way to look at it. Probably shouldn't be encouraging people to eat plastic, though. Also, I think I've asked this before. Was it like an urban legend? And by urban legend, I mean like a very strange rumor always seemed to come about in elementary school. Anytime we used paper mache, there would be whispers of some kid eating paper mache, and like the kid always kind of changed, like which one it was. And I never witnessed anyone eating paper mache. I don't really know like what would possess someone to eat paper mache, because it's pretty clearly just glue and paper, but it was like really prevalent in my elementary school years. Anytime we had a class where we were doing something with paper mache, kids would suddenly be like, "Oh, there's Justin, he's gonna eat the paper mache again," and it would be like, that's wild. That did happen in my elementary school, like the rumor or the act of eating paper mache. I think it's totally safe, it's Elmer's glue, you can consume it without issue, but the rumor. Okay, yeah, so I don't know what that was about. Don't think anyone actually ate it. Yeah, see, I don't think anyone actually ate it either. I never did paper mache in school. That's probably a good thing. I think it was super messy, honestly. So it was probably for the best. I think your teachers were probably thinking ahead. There's paper mache made of flour, which is actually probably worse to eat. Oh yeah, that would probably actually make you pretty sick. Because, uncooked flour does not for a happy tummy make. Closest I got was a kid in my class that just poured glue on a desk and ate it. Wow. That's next level. Like brazenly in the middle of class, just like went to town. Or was he like trying to make a point or something? Bro wanted the germs and everything. Yeah, maybe, maybe he was like trying to like microdose himself with a bunch of germs at once. Could have actually been an ingenious ploy. Maybe his immune system is like unbeatable now. Because I imagine the kinds of germs that live on like an elementary school desk are pretty hardcore. It was while we were working on a worksheet or something and nobody stopped them. That's a little wild. I think that would be a little shocking to experience as a kid, to be like, wow, this is really just happening right here. We need to get a blood sample from that dude. He's definitely got the panacea or something. He's unlocked the mystery. Live and let live. Yeah. The teacher was like, whatever. Honestly, it was probably a beleaguered, like, public school teacher who was like, I do not get paid enough to deal with that. And it's, it's Elmer's glue. It's pretty non-toxic, so again, I guess as far as things you could eat go, it's not the worst thing. You'd probably be more scared about kids like chewing on markers or something and being like, oh god, this might actually be toxic. Much better than lead. Yeah, much better than lead. Nothing in my training prepared me to handle this situation. Yeah, like, I don't know what I would do. I would be like, bro, stop. I would be like, we have to like physically remove you from this desk right now, but that would be a wild weekday. That would certainly be a story I would talk about from my work years for years to come, I think. Like, you'll never believe what I had to try and prevent today. Alright, I think I'm gonna go, let's see, we're like almost done with our stamina for the day. Could soak in the hot tub more, the onsen. It's not really a hot tub. The better variant. Could not handle being an elementary teacher. Kids that age scare me with the stuff they'll do with just no regard for anything. Yeah, I mean, they just, like, their brains are not cooked enough to know that that's like, really not it. So, elementary school teachers have it hard. The kids are, like, old enough to be away from their parents, but not old enough to not make really bad decisions. Really, really a tough job. Alright, let me go ahead and let's see. It's like 1:40, so I'm gonna just save really quick. Just in case, you know, my computer explodes. I'm gonna take a quick break and actually mute myself this time, not talk about veggies. I'm gonna get Pickles her dinner and her pills. So I'm gonna put you guys on a quick break screen, probably gonna be about 5 minutes. So feel free to stretch, get a snack, any of that good stuff, and then we will be back and farming soon. Okay, I'm back. I actually muted that time. Amazing. Incredible. Ooh. Also, my husband confirmed that the scuff was just scuff. I guess you guys did hear me complaining about an acquaintance of ours calling his son an idiot when I didn't mute that time, which is kind of funny. I'll have you all know that Errol and I only have 2 daughters. We just have Pickles, our cat, and Udon, our snake. We are a girls only household. All right, I'm back. We're ready to soak in the onsen and I guess dig more. I don't know what else. Let me see. Actually, oh, white grass. Let me see if Gots is around. I don't know what other upgrades I even had. Oh yeah, I guess I could do... I did want the watermill. I guess I should be getting some lumber and stone. Udon is a fantastic name for a noodle. I know. She's kind of a grumpy noodle. She is a ball python. She really likes my husband, but she's pretty bitey. She doesn't really like other people. We got her when she was a little older, so she wasn't super well socialized, let's put it that way. I think she spent her first year or so in a drawer, so I don't really think she saw people very often. But she really likes climbing. We have a little aquarium tree for her to climb around on. And she likes rats. Those are her favorite things. Climbing. She likes climbing, she likes rats, and she likes showers. So, good. I'm glad nothing classified got out. I got scared on your behalf. Yeah, don't worry. First of all, we never refer to each other as our real names in our house. And we generally don't talk about where we live or our workplace either, by name at least. Putting the danger in Danger Noodle. Yeah, I think we had only had Udon for like, I don't know, a couple months maybe? And she bit Errol pretty bad. Because, you know, she's a python, so she bites and then she, like, wraps around. And that was when she was a lot, she wasn't as big and she wasn't as strong. I think we have a rule that neither of us is really supposed to take her out of her cage without the other person around, because she is strong enough that if she got around your neck and squeezed, it would not be great. So, not that she would be, like, going for the kill, but, you know, sometimes she can get scared when she's climbing around on you, so. But yeah, he was real bruised up. She's a strong little tube of muscle. She has a lot of opinions. But she's a good bean. She's a ball python. She's a purple passion ball python. If you look them up, it's a morph. She's kind of this like lavender gray color. She's very pretty, so people always want to pet her, and we're like, she's kind of not into that. She wants to just be chilling. She wants to be taking a shower, or she wants to be climbing or eating a dead rat. That's kind of her favorite activities. Pickles hangs out in her room sometimes. She lives in the guest room. We have like a second bedroom upstairs, and Pickles will hang out in there, but she's very like, I don't know, she likes the concept of Udon, but she gets kind of freaked out if she sees Udon, so. They spend sisterly time together from afar. I think it works for them. I think it works for them. Alright, let's see. We have 2 days before it's Dudley's birthday. And don't think we're full. Oh my god, Basil and I are like not friends at all. I don't know why. I must have like missed his birthday or something. Oh, I'm like besties with Dudley. I wonder why. Probably better for both of them for Pickles to be a bit wary. Yes, definitely safer. One of my mom's boyfriends when I was growing up had a couple of boa constrictors that loved to break out of their enclosures and sleep on me in the middle of the night. Oh my goodness. I mean, that's like kind of precious, but also kind of terrifying. Like, cute that they just wanted to like come cuddle where it was warm, I assume, but not great, I guess, to have snakes breaking out of their enclosures and making their way around. Unsupervised, at least. As with most animals, like, genuinely most animals I don't think mean to hurt anybody, so they just... But, you know, accidents happen. Oh, I did not put extra food out. Oopsie. Actually, I don't know if I could. I feel like I had this problem last time. It's a blizzard. Fortunately, they were well-fed and quite tame. That goes a long way. When animals are well-fed, they're usually like, whatever. We're chilling. It's snowing way too much to go outside today. Alright. Well. Time to sleep. We gotta just sleep the whole day away because no time passes while we're inside. Alright, so it's Dudley's birthday today. Technically, we don't have to celebrate it because we are like full hearts with him. 6 a.m. Time to call it a night. Exactly. 6 a.m. Back to bed. Oh yeah, Swip Swap, man. I wish this show was over. Swip Swap. Lunch Recess 3. Danny knows how much Adrienne loves spicy foods. If I don't eat this, she'll definitely think something is up. Adrienne, in Adrienne's body. No, I'm starving. I was just about to dig in. Ugh, spicy. My tongue is burning. I knew it. This stuff is way too spicy for me to eat. Come to think of it, though, Adrienne, am technically not supposed to be feeling well, so maybe I can get away with just a few painful bites. Adrienne, if you're still not feeling great, you don't have to force yourself to eat. Praise the gods, old and new. It looks like Danny thinks I'm still under the weather. Yeah, you're right. I probably shouldn't push it. Hopefully I'm not making her worry too much. I'm sorry about this, Danny. I'll just have to carry the leftovers home with me, I guess. To be continued. In Swip Swap, a couple named Adrian and Adrienne have a Freaky Friday moment where they swap bodies. So we're deep in that storyline, and it's not the most thrilling. It's a lot of very normal moments, and they also have not attempted to swap back at all, which I think is a mistake, but you know, whatever. It's their bodies, it's their school day. They can do whatever they want, or not. Oh. Okay, it is sunny today. Hey Berlin, sorry, I'm trying to grab this egg that is literally the same size as you. Alright. Let's grab all this food. Should check how much food is left. Every episode seems to be a slight difficulty. Oh, it was no problem at all, lol. Yeah, that's literally what it is every episode, so it's just like, okay. How many more of these do we have in us? How many more of these do we really have in us? Alright. Oh, we do get more stones, though. That's good. Gotta replace my fencing. Alright, we're gonna brush all our cows. I don't think any of our cows are gonna have milk for us today. Yeah, they don't. I'm liable to pass out soon as I was awake quite early for work. It was lovely meeting you. Yes, of course. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a good rest of your night. Oh my goodness, the cows. Okay. I need to get to the baby cow, but she's so small. She's so tiny. Same to you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm getting a little peckish. I'm gonna have to do dinner soon. And then I don't know what I'm gonna be up to. Probably playing Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter, and then I have to do some post-minor surgery wound treatment because I had to leave the dressing on all day today from yesterday, so it'll be my first time witnessing the mess post-op. Alright, let's see. Let's get some of this stuff cleaned up. Hope you're healing well. Yeah, it was just a minor little... I had to slice open my foot, but I think I should be good in like a week or two. It wasn't too crazy. Just kind of a pain. It's a podiatrist I've been to before though, and he's pretty chill, so I was like, hello, I'm back. I'm here again. Got your ingrown removed again? I did. I actually found out why it was happening. It was definitely worse this time, but yeah, apparently I have a bunion, which I didn't know. For some reason I think bunion means like a callus, but no, it means like your feet are not formed the right way. And yeah, basically I left this for like way too long, but it's like a busy season for me, so I was like, it's fine, I'll just deal with it. I could walk on it and it was okay, but it was definitely like not doing great. But yeah, I went and he was like, yeah, so the reason this happened again is because you have a bunion. And I was like, whoa. So I learned all about my foot. Things I didn't know. I thought bunion was just another term for callus. I thought so too. But apparently it means like your toes are like your big toe especially is like pushing in. And it's like a weird deformity thing where like part of your, like you get this lump on the if you're looking at like your foot below your big toe, you get kind of a lump that sticks out because that's your toe bone kind of like sticking out in a weird way. And it can be painful. Like some people get like, it gets really dramatic and it can be really painful. Mine is not. It doesn't like bother me at all, but I guess it's causing my toes to rub against each other in a weird way that they're not supposed to. So also because I probably wear shoes that are like a little narrower. But he said I can get a toe spacer, which should help, so I'm gonna try that. So hopefully that just like solves the problem, so I don't have that happen again. Or he said if it does happen again, there's like another surgery I can do that's like a little bit more permanent to try and fix that. But yeah, feet are important. They carry us everywhere pretty much, so probably should not have left it as long as I did. I was just like, I'll get to this when I get to it, and then by the time I got in there, they were like, ooh, this looks not good. And I was like, yeah, it doesn't feel great. The one woman was like, she was like, what's your pain scale? And I was like, I mean, it doesn't hurt like 99% of the time, but then if I stub it, it hurts really bad. She was like, oh, okay. Fair enough. I was like, yeah, I can't really wear, like, normal socks. So, that sucks. Bunions are usually caused by shoe sizes being too tight. Yeah, like, I think most of my shoes have a pretty wide toe box, but they might not. When you stub them, they're brutal. They are, yeah, when they're like inflamed and stuff, and then you stub it and you have a moment of being like, oh my god, this was the worst. This is the worst thing that's happened to me in a while. Perpetual toe infections, man. I know, they're so lame too, because it's just like, it's just a toe, you know? And you're like, dude, you have to get infected? And now I have to go to a doctor for this? This is so lame. Now I have to pay a doctor? Ugh. And I have to take hardcore antibiotics and like stay out of the sun? Like, that sucks. That's not fun. Shouldn't be legal for toes to be so high maintenance. I know, right? They're so high maintenance and they break so easily. I've broken every single one of my baby toes, like, at least once. My pinky toes, I've broken each of them like 2 or 3 times. It's so lame. I'm like, guys, come on. Please. Please. Now, most of that was because I was riding horses, so big animals plus toes that get stepped on equals toes break, but like still. Oh, can I not go up this way? I totally thought I could. No. Alright. Got ingrowns because my big toes got ripped off when I was a kid. Stopped getting them, fortunately. Well, that's good. That sounds super lame and very uncomfortable. I broke my pinky toe earlier this year. Was it like a sad break where you like catch it on the edge of furniture? Because that's how I've broken a few of my pinky toes, which is literally the saddest thing. It's like, that's a real indignity moment. An elliptical? No, that's so sad. It's literally the worst. Because you don't even have like a good story to be like, this is how I broke this bone, you know, like Kiosk broke her arm, but she was horseback riding, so it's like, it sucks to break your arm, but then you can at least be like, well, I was like on this horse and I fell off, and everyone would be like, dang, that's crazy. That's fair. Instead of being like, yeah, I kicked an ottoman and my toe is in pieces. I broke the proximal phalanx almost from front to back up the middle. Oh my god. That's an aggressive one. I've yet to break a bone, but now I'm worried. You've never broken, like, you haven't even broken a finger? Or a toe? Perky, you must be very careful. Kias did it in dramatic fashion. She did. She does have like a steel plate in her arm now, so she did go aggressively as far as like breaking the bone goes. I did set it myself, so that was pretty cool. Well, hopefully you set it straight. I guess most of my toes that I've broken, I just leave them, but not a single broken bone. Nice, safe gamer lifestyle. I mean, that's pretty wild, but I'm also like proud of you for that. Like, I feel like that's a feat. Like, not even breaking bones when you're little, because like being little, like you're a child, you're bad at things, you know? So if I feel like if you escape childhood without breaking anything, that's kind of a big deal. It was perfect. I got an x-ray the next day and they didn't do anything but redo my buddy tape. Oh, nice. That's sick. My bones are too strong to break too? Mary, what? Not even a pinky toe? What? I break my pinky toes so often. It's like once every couple years, I swear. And they're supposed to be like stronger when they heal. Guys out here, I guess you guys drank your milk as kids. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I didn't consume enough milk. Alright, supposed to be nice weather tomorrow. Star Lily. Okay, Star Lily is like a rerun now. We watched the whole thing. There's actually a family who has genetic mutation where their bones are like 8 times denser than normal. Only caveat is they can't swim. Yeah, that is kind of a downside. No, the opposite. My bones absorbed blows like disintegrating cardboard. Oh. Oh no. I'm large, so I try to be careful where I'm walking. That's fair, that's fair. You gotta keep an eye. Yeah, I guess it turns out, like, I think one time I was, like, telling my husband, I was like, yeah, I don't really think I'm very clumsy, and he, like, just raised his eyebrows, because I had, like, 6 bruises on my arms and legs from just, like, walking into stuff, and I think I said that to him, and then, like, immediately walked into something, and he was like, dude, please. I was like, alright. Alright, you right. You right, turns out. I do be clumsy. I walk into random stuff. I find random bruises on myself all the time. I'm like, what did I even do? And then I, like, remember, oh, remember that time when you turned really fast and, like, slammed your hip into the oven? Like, oh, yeah, that's true. I did do that. That is true. That is something I did. I'm the least in charge person ever. I just want to take a nap. Team nap. Team snooze. I'm still kind of, like, irrationally upset that these are in stacks of 9 instead of 8. I feel like they should have just let us have 9 chickens or coop animals then if they were gonna do it that way. I feel the injustice of it. Literally currently in bed with the stream up on my phone. I guess bed is safe, I guess. That's why you gotta be in charge. Delegate everything to everyone else so you can nap while everything gets done. That's true. That is the #1 way to nap. Delegate. Oh my god. Kid, get back here. I love things being in 9 because if you do something with the middle, you still have perfect symmetry on either side. And that is true. That is a nice heraldic composition number. However, I don't know, 9 makes sense here because we can have like 5 cows. So it's like, okay, we feed all 5 cows on the 9. But the chicken feed and dispensing in bundles of 9, even though we can only ever have 8 animals and I always have to put one back, is like, why, guys? Why? Alright. Everybody's good. It's snowing, so they're gonna stay inside today. I am going to process this milk. Oh my goodness. Hello, Pickles. Hello. Are you covered in gravy? You are. You're covered in gravy. You already got big snugs. You came for more. Come here. You want to sit down? Alright, I actually do need to sleep before I get myself wrapped up in further conversation. Yes, please rest. Hope you get lots of good sleep. Rapidly Googling heraldic composition. Yeah, it's an art term, generally. Like, I don't think it would actually be applied to the number 9, but... Today's been a big yapping day. It has been a big yapping day. It's nice to big yap. Nice to have big yapping days. Oh my god, Miss Pickles, you're so cute! She was so grumpy last night, though. I had to ask her to get off my lap while I was playing Monsty Hunty because... I don't know, it was bothering my foot. The local anesthetic they put on my foot was wearing off, and the way that I had my feet up to, like, hold her on my lap was not it. And she was, like, so upset. She was like, I can't believe you're doing this to me. Cannot believe you're making me move off your lap, Mom. This is a great injustice. Big yapping days are a vibe. They are. They're nice. They're cozy. We have a lot of money right now. I think I want to do like one set of these and then I'll go cut more wood and stuff so that we can hopefully get the water mill. For some reason, I feel like in the original you did not get the water mill at the beginning. Like, I don't think you had a way to grind corn into chicken feed right away. I think you were way more dependent on buying it if I'm remembering correctly. So that might have been a quality of life upgrade that they added by like giving you the building to start, and that the upgrade just makes it so that you can like hold more feed in your storage rather than it actually giving you the ability to make the feed in the first place. Oops. Alright. I think it's so early. I think I'm fine to just clear the room, because I think my stamina will be like down, but it should just fully refill while we're in the onsen anyway. My fatigue level. Alright, there we go. Perfect. I'm leaving that tiny bit of scrap ore in the corner. I don't need that. I'm all set. What, pup? Oh my goodness, you have... Is that a gunky on your nose, or was that food? There we go. Pickles gets these like little, I don't know, they're like normal eye gunkies on the corner, the outer corner of her eyes. But she hates me removing them, but like they also bother her because they stick her little eyelashes together. She has nice long eyelashes. But she gets so mad when I try and get those off of her. She's like, no, stop. I'm like, girl, we have to. Also, Perky, thank you for your pet pick redeem. She is on my lap right now. Do you have any special requests while she's chilling here? Easy access to big pets? She just munched a lot of food, so she's very full of beans right now. She's very full of beans. Just good old head pats? Alright. We'll give her some head snugs. Some head scritches. She's happy as a clam. She had a nice day today. She got more lap time than normal because I was kind of just sitting for the whole day. Did not move around that much. You're thriving, big girl. You like those? For some reason I thought I had broken that stump, so when I looked over and it was still whole, I had an out-of-body experience being like, what? Didn't we break this? Acing the New Year's resolution. Yup. Doing great. She also tried to type to my husband when she like got on my laptop after I went to go like check if the veggies were there. She immediately got on my laptop and was like trying to message everyone that she possibly could. She had things she needed to say. Which is a little concerning when like she gets on my laptop, because like who knows what she could send to people. All sorts of wild messages could come from her. She has a lot of feelings for such a small cat. Hey Raz, what's up? Not much. Are you guys doing much in winter? Pickles is the voice of our generation. She speaks for all of us. I'd vote for her as a spokesperson. I feel like she has a good head on her shoulders most of the time. She knows what she's about. She usually just wants snugs. She likes to press keys on keyboards. Or she wants food. Specifically, she wants quail eggs. But otherwise, she's kind of just chilling. Pickles 2028. I don't know if she's ready for the White House. That's a lot. She would have to interface with the international communities. I don't know if she's ready to do that. Though, I don't think she could do much worse for the economy, so... than what we're already up to. She would probably do better. Alright, I thought there was a stump that was going to be over here, but no stump. Stump is missing. Because I think I only need like 150 stone, and like, that'll be pretty easy to get, but we need like 300 or 350 wood. That's kind of a lot. Alright, let's put Calf away. I always forget that Calf does not put himself back even when he's on the farm. Nope, that's the fridge. Okay, let's go ahead. We'll go to sleep. Actually gonna go ahead and save. And I think we might end here for today, because I'm getting a little hungry. I don't know what... Since these veggies didn't arrive, I don't know what we're gonna do. So, let's head over here. And I'm gonna go ahead and close out of the game so that it's not blasting in my ears while I'm trying to yap it with y'all. Alright, there we go. But thank you guys for joining me today. Thanks for hanging out as we did some cozy farming in Mineral Town, Wet and Revisited. Got to see some things. I'll have to look up and see what the timing is supposed to be for us having a kid. I don't know if that's random. I don't know if there's like something I'm supposed to do or like a certain heart level or something. It might just be random chance. So we'll have to see. Just as a reminder, let me grab our schedule. Let me actually... How did I do this? Over here. I have a fancier schedule. Whoop. On a different screen. Okay, it's called announcement block. Let me add this image. Turn off studio mode. Whoop, that thing's big. It's supposed to go like here. Let me move it down. Let's see, where is my schedule? Oh, my schedule's up above. I missed it. this thing. Wow. I'll have to fiddle with it. Anyway, I'll have to move those into a little group. But there's our schedule. So just as a reminder, we are not gonna have stream on Saturday this week because I actually have a family thing. I'm gonna be traveling that day. But we will be back on Sunday. Also remember that we changed our Sunday times. Instead of being 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern, they're now 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern. So we're going to be back on Sunday to play some more Monster Hunter Wilds, I think. So that should be fun. And then we'll be back next week on Thursday for more Friends of Mineral Town. And then I'm going to announce this as well, but on Friday of next week, I'm actually having a collab with the Cozy Collective girls. So Z and Remy and I are going to play Oh Dear, which is like a kind of a hide and seek predators and prey-ish game where people hide as deer and then one person is the hunter, and if the hunter kills too many not us deer, or it turns to night, the tables are turned and the deer turned into like monsters and can attack them. So I think it'll be lots of fun. I think we'll have lots of laughs. So we'll let you guys know what the timing is going to be like on all that good stuff. But yeah, I guess I will see most of you guys next on Sunday, and then otherwise we'll be on to next week. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me today. Let me take a quick look, see if anyone's around. Oh my goodness, I guess I didn't shut off my other browser. I was like, whoa, jump scared by all my tabs. Let's see, is anyone doing anything fun, anything cozy? Oh, you know what? I see, let's see. I see Verdant is doing some more. Verdant has been playing Final Fantasy 14, like his first ever playthrough, which I think is pretty fun. He's been going for like 2 hours, but I feel like he normally goes for like a pretty long time. So I feel like it's always nice. I don't know if a lot of you guys have ever played Final Fantasy 14, but it has a very extensive story. It takes a lot of hours to go through the main story, even of just like the base game, like vanilla. So it's kind of fun to watch people go back and play through quests that you've done like so long ago. And I don't know, it's like a nice trip down memory lane, and also kind of like you know what's coming, so you see them get attached to characters that you're like, oh no, not that one, don't get attached to that one. Or I don't know, it's nice to have games be experienced through other people sometimes after because we can only play games for the first time once, so it's kind of nice to be able to see what they think or how they view different interactions and stuff. So I think we're gonna go say hello to Verdant for the Twitch folks. For the YouTube folks, you guys are just gonna get a bit of a stream ending screen. First raid message is gonna be for subscribers. Second raid message is gonna be for everybody else. Before we go though, let's make sure we do a great big stretch. Make sure that we're an uncooked shrimp if we must be shrimps. Let's make sure that we get a sip of something, doesn't matter what it is, something is better than nothing. If you're like me and you have to get something to eat, I hope it's very tasty. If you have to get some rest, I hope you get lots of good sleep and only have good dreams. Let's make sure that our jaws are nice and unclenched, and our brows are unfurrowed. We're gonna go say hello to Verdant, see how he's doing in his very first Final Fantasy 14 playthrough. But as always, thank you guys so much for joining me today. Thanks for all the chatters and all the lurkers. Thanks for yapping with me. Thanks for all the new cottagers and all the old cottagers. I appreciate all you guys. And as always, I hope you all have an excellent rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening. And hopefully I get to see you guys again very, very soon.